Guys, what's going on and welcome to a brand new video. This is going to be your Premier League predictions for game week 24. If you like the video, make sure you do like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it. So firstly, of course, we go back to game week 23 and see how we did in my Premier League predictions. As you guys can see on screen right now, I have my game week 23 Premier League predictions. Let's start off with the first game of the game week. It was West Ham versus Sunderland. I predicted Sunderland to actually beat West Ham 2-1. I thought they were the better team. Then you realise Xhaka was out, and then they lost, and they looked like a completely different team without Granit Xhaka. They lost the game 3-1. West Ham absolutely smashed them, and it was a 3-1 West Ham win. The next game of the game week was Burnley versus Spurs, and I thought, Spurs versus Burnley, surely they'll get some points, surely they'll win the game, surely they'll keep a clean sheet. Instead, it was a 2-2 draw, and Burnley managed to score twice against Spurs, and it took Romero and Van der Ven, they're both their centre-back, scoring to rescue a point against Burnley. Very poor, and Spurs have been very poor for a while, but I thought maybe, Burnley, they'll get a point, they'll get a point, but nope, they managed to, they'll win the game, but no, they managed to get a point after drawing 2-2. The next game of the game week was Fulham versus Brighton. I said it would be a 2-2 draw. It ended up being a 2-1 win to Fulham with Wilson. What a free kick from Wilson. What a finish from Wilson. What a free kick in the back of the net to win the game for Fulham, and a 2-1 win against Brighton. The next game of the game week was Man City versus Wolves. I said Man City was going to batter them, and I said a 4-0 Manchester City win. It wasn't 4-0, but it was only 2-0, so it was a 2-0 Manchester City win. They beat Wolves comfortably, keeping a clean sheet, but also you look at that and I thought there might have been more scored. But yeah, anyway, 2-0 to Man City. The next game of the game week was Bournemouth versus Liverpool. Bournemouth versus Liverpool, I'm like, Liverpool have been poor, but hey, I think they'll beat Bournemouth. I think they'll get 3 points. Nope, Bournemouth win it in the last minute, winning it 3-2. And every goal, you can look at Van Dijk for defensively making mistakes, and there's a reason why Liverpool didn't win this game. And Bournemouth managed to win it 3-2. What a thrilling game, especially at the end with that late winner. Next game of the game week was Brentford versus Forest. I said that Brentford would win 2-0 against Nottingham Forest. It ended up being the reverse, as Forest went on to beat Brentford 2-0. So it was a 2-0 Forest win when I said it would be a 2-0 Brentford win. Anyway, moving on from that game, the next game was Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. I said Chelsea would win this game 2-1. I think they'll keep up their form. It ended up being 3-1. They ended up winning the game 3-1. So close on that. Got the right team winning, but close on the score. Next game was Villa and Newcastle. Sorry, Newcastle and Villa. I said Villa would win this game, but I thought they would concede. So I said 2-1 to Aston Villa. It ended up being a 2-0 Aston Villa win and keeping a clean sheet. And hang on a minute. Could they be winning the league? Are they in this title race? They're back in it. Because in the next game between Arsenal and Man United, I said Arsenal would win 2-0. Manchester United ended up winning 3-2. And now Villa and City are 4 points behind them, and the title race is back on, baby. It's back on. And the final game of the game week, I guess I know my team well. Because it was Everton versus Leeds United. I predicted a 1-1 draw, and it ended up being a 1-1 draw. So I got that one right. Anyway, let's get into Premier League predictions for game week 24. Let's start off with the first game of the game week. We got Brighton versus Everton. Now, going into this game, Everton, of course, just got a point against Leeds United. Thought they were poor in the first half and we were very good, and the second half was basically just the reverse. I thought Everton were good. Brighton, on the other hand, going into this game, what do I expect between these two teams? I expect Everton to actually win this game. I think Everton are going to win it. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think Everton are going to get over the line with a 2-1 win. So a 2-1 win to Everton. I think they'll have too much for them. Next game is Leeds United versus Arsenal. Going into this game, what do I think? I think we're going to probably lose this game, but I think we'll give them a contest. I think it'll be a contest in this game, but I think Arsenal will keep a clean sheet. Of course, they can't drop any more points right now, especially you can't do that 2 weeks in a row, dropping points. There is a chance they might, because the bottle might be calling Arteta and being like, I'm right here. But anyway, I think Arsenal do beat Leeds, and I think we lose, basically. I think it's going to be a 2-0 Arsenal win. I think it's going to be a more competitive game. It's going to be one of those games where it's 1-0 for most of the game. We're going to get a couple of chances. We're not going to take them. And then Arsenal are going to put the dagger in and basically get a late goal to make it 2-0. And they'll win this game, probably scoring one of them from a set piece or a corner. But yeah, I think Arsenal are going to win this game 2-0. So 2-0 Arsenal win. Next game we got is Wolves versus Bournemouth. Now, going into this game, Wolves' form has been good. I know they just lost to Man City, but 2026, their form has been good. Bournemouth just beat Liverpool in the last minute, of course, and I think they're going to continue that with winning again. I think they're going to beat Wolves, but I do think it's going to be a tightish game. I think it's going to be 2-1 to Bournemouth. I think it's going to be one of those games where it's going to be 2-0 to Bournemouth most of the game, and then the final 5 minutes there, Wolves are going to give them like a little scare by scoring a goal and then maybe having a couple of chances after that for like the final 5 minutes. But I'm going to say a 2-1 Bournemouth win. Next up, we got is Chelsea versus West Ham. Now, going into this game, I expect Chelsea to win. I'm going to say 3-0 Chelsea. I think it's going to be a comfortable win and a clean sheet for Chelsea. Of course, off the back of beating Crystal Palace 3-1, while Crystal Palace had a red card, they did score. So maybe that's a worry of saying maybe they do concede in this game. West Ham's form has been good. 2 wins in a row. Somerville's playing well for them. But I think this game, I think Chelsea are going to win it. It's going to be a 3-0 comfortable for Chelsea and a 3-0 win. Next game we got is Liverpool versus Newcastle. How do I think this game is going to go? Both teams out of form, really not playing well in recent weeks. But I'm going to say it. Newcastle are winning this game. I'm going to say it's going to be a 2-1 Newcastle win at Anfield, and the boos are going to get even louder at Anfield, and Slot might honestly be sacked. But I do think Newcastle are going to win this game. It's going to be one of those tight games. I'm going to say it's going to be like Newcastle win it in the final 5 minutes. Maybe they do what happened in the reverse fixture and give them a taste of their own medicine by scoring a last-minute winner and winning this game. But I'm going to say 2-1 to Newcastle. Next game we got is Aston Villa versus Brentford. I think Aston Villa are going to continue their winning run and continue their charge of being in a title race, because at the moment they are in that title race, and I think they're going to continue that run by beating Brentford. Of course, Brentford did lose last week, but Brentford's form in recent games, how they played this season, I mean, based the whole season, they've been very good. They could play in Europe this season, next season, but I think Villa are going to have too much for them. I think it's going to be a 2-1 Aston Villa win. I think they're going to concede, but they're going to win it 2-1. Next time goes Manchester United versus Fulham, and I think Man United, maybe they've turned a corner, or maybe it's just a bit of like new manager bounce, but I do think they're going to have too much for Fulham and win this game. I think it's going to be a 2-1 Manchester United win. A lot of 2-1s I've predicted, but yeah, I think Man United are going to beat Fulham 2-1. Next game we got is Forest versus Crystal Palace. Going into this game, I think Crystal Palace are going to win it. I think it's going to be a very tight game, though, a very close game. Of course, Forest being at home, but I think Palace are going to win this game. I'm going to say 1-0. A 1-0 Crystal Palace win. I think Crystal Palace will get like a late goal, basically, in the final 10-15 minutes to win the game, and it's going to be a 1-0 Crystal Palace win. Next game we got is Spurs versus Man City, and hey, Spurs have been a bogey team to Man City a lot in the recent years, the past couple of years. Spurs just seem to beat them. Even when they're awful, they just seem to beat them. But this time, I think Man City are going to have too much for Spurs. Of course, being in this title race, I think they're going to win this game. I'm going to say 2-0 Manchester City. I think they'll win comfortably. It'll be similar to last week against Wolves. It'll be just a comfortable win, 2-0 to Manchester City. And the final game of the game week that we got is Sunderland versus Burnley. Now, Burnley versus Sunderland happened early on in the season. Burnley ended up winning this game, but I think Sunderland are going to have too much for Burnley this time, and they're going to win it comfortably 2-0. So a 2-0 comfortable win for Sunderland. If you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. My score predictions are on screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.